League championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in South Dakota so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City. What you need to know.
At the World Cup in Foxborough, Norway and Iraq about to get underway in Group I play. Earlier today in Group I in New Jersey, it was all about Kylian Mbappe. France would beat Senegal by that 3-1 score on Fox, as it was Mbappe's second goal of the match. It's his 14th goal in World Cup play for France, the most by any Frenchman. Group J play as Argentina and Algeria playing at 9 Eastern in Kansas City. In San Francisco, Austria and Jordan play at midnight Eastern in Group J. John Tortorella will not return next season as the head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. The Saints are bringing back veteran defensive end Cameron Jordan on a one-year deal. It'll be his 16th and final season in the NFL. And Game 5 of the NBA Finals drew 24.5 million viewers. Most watched finals since 1998. I'm Dan Byer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, here we go. Welcome in on a Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get the week going. Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. It's always a great day in South Dakota. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. You found us. Glad you're a part of the program. Some great guests tonight. Really good stuff for you. Thanks for tuning in on the radio side. Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates are Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Here we go, South Dakota Sports Talk Show streaming on YouTube right now. The Nate Brown Show. Find us on YouTube. Watch us live. Archive shows are there as well. So hit us up. Subscribe to the channel, The Nate Brown Show, and you've got South Dakota Sports Talk Show Plus, Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports streaming app they launched this past year. High School Sports Live and The Nate Brown Show on Midwest Sports Plus. One more place, Twitter. We are live right now. Welcome in studio on a Tuesday. The Twitter stream is at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show. Watch us live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Tuesday edition of the program. What do we got? What do we got cooking? We got a NCAA champion on the show today. The title goes to Simeon Birnbaum, 1,500 meters. He just blew everybody away this past Friday. I said, I got to try and get Simeon on. Of course, Rapid City Steven Starr, South Dakota record holder, and now a collegiate record holder. He set the collegiate record earlier this year in the 1,500. And then he wins the NCAA title. He's the number one 1,500-meter runner in the country. He is on tonight from Eugene, Oregon, the Outdoor Track Championships. Simeon Birnbaum, national champion. He is live tonight. Really looking forward to it. Get inside his career. Is 20 years old, and I think he's got big things to come. Simeon Birnbaum coming up. We'll go to the national side with Frank Schwab. He's in tonight. YahooSports.com, national NFL writer. Frank Schwab on tap. Craig Mattick's going to drop by East River meets West River on the Nate Brown Show with Craig Mattick, SDPB Sports. Legendary South Dakota sports broadcaster. Craig's in tonight. And college football national writer Zach Barnett, live from Texas. He's on the Texas Tech deal. Zach Barnett with footballscoop.com. He is coming up. Packed Tuesday show from high school to college to the pros. Thought-provoking sports talk, your takes, it's all welcome. Hit us on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline, 605-720-1067. That's the number, 605-720-1067. So I marked that one down. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Stop by the Pizza Ranch. It's kind of getting warm at times this summer. You want them to cook, they'll do it. Hit the buffet at the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Also, hit us on the text line tonight, 605-720-1067. That is the Barron's Wilson listener text line. A lot to cover today before we get to our guests as we start the Nate Brown Show tonight. So I'm going to think about this here, and I don't know if there is one easy answer to our question of the day tonight. Sometimes I think I know the answer. I don't know if there's an easy answer to the question of the day, and I've got two things that have hit me today. So here's what's just came out from the networks this weekend. On Friday night, the U.S. men's national team in their World Cup opening round match against Paraguay, that was the most watched English language U.S. broadcast in history. Okay, so you're hanging with me. U.S. men's national team played Paraguay, beat them the other night Friday. That was the most watched. It was 21.5 million peak viewership, 18 million average. And so here comes everybody. It's soccer, the World Cup. It's huge. It's up. I'm going to hang on a second. I understand. I'm not going to talk about soccer every day on this show, just so you're aware. I am a soccer dad. I know who loves soccer. The crazy soccer fans, it's their life. They played, they ref, they coach, they know it. The crazy soccer fans and the crazy soccer parents. So I understand. I don't need to talk soccer every day here on the show. I'm going to hit on the World Cup. We had a live report from Seattle last night. I mean, we're going to do that. But I'm not so naive that I think just because I'm watching the World Cup that I think everybody's watching the World Cup. You guys are really into this thing. However, 18 million watched it Friday night. Was that just a lucky deal? Was that a lucky deal? It's a Friday night opening round match, U.S. men's national team. We want to see how they're doing. What does this prove here? And by the way, I'm not going to just stay in soccer because here's the other thing that just came out on the sports viewership level. This is also interesting to me today. The NBA Finals Game 5 Saturday night. So this is Spurs-Knicks now. Knicks trying to clinch, and they got it done Saturday night. The NBA Finals Game 5 Saturday night in San Antonio got 24.5 million average. That's 24.5 million average. It peaked at 33 million viewers Saturday night. So they say this NBA Finals, let alone Game 5, but the NBA Finals, the most watched NBA Finals since 1998. And so I got these two massive sports numbers staring at us today. We have these two massive sports numbers, nationwide viewership, record-setting deals. And I call the NBA Finals thing record-setting because you got to go all the way back to the Jordan Bulls and Utah Jazz. And then there's conspiracy theorists that say, hang on a second, There's no way more people or as many people are interested in this NBA Finals with the Knicks and Spurs as the Jazz and Bulls. We romanticize about that, right? I romanticize. Nothing will hit the Jordan Bulls era, or maybe you're the Celtics guy, the Lakers guy back in the day. Nothing will ever be as popular as that. So what I'm asking you tonight, question of the day, what I'm asking you, why are there more people than ever watching sports? That's back-to-back nights now. That's two different sports. By the way, though, this is interesting because I kind of joke about soccer. I'm being realistic. Like, I know football fans are not like huge soccer fans. I know if you're an NFL guy, you're a Vikings fan tonight, I don't think you just waiting to watch the U.S. men's national team on Friday night. I don't think you were waiting for that, yet it got a huge number. You're getting up into some NFL numbers now. And this is one of the things that now it gets my attention here. What is happening in the sports consumer mindset that we're getting record numbers, back-to-back nights now? NBA Finals, huge, most watched since Jordan and the Jazz. That was that series, 1998. That was Jordan's last run with the 6 NBA titles. And then you've got the World Cup, U.S. men's national team that makes a splash. It was less people watching the World Cup Friday night, but still set the most watched English language U.S. broadcast when it comes to the World Cup in history. And then I'm looking at it Friday coming up this week. It's not going to be a night game, so we're not going to see that big. But you're going to have an afternoon match, and I wonder how big that will be. It's afternoon now, Friday afternoon, summertime. I don't know if you're going to reach huge numbers again. Was it just a perfect storm? It's my question of the day tonight. Why are more people watching sports? Record-setting weekend, NBA Saturday night. U.S. men's national team previous Friday night. My question of the day, and by the way, I don't think there's a real easy answer tonight. I think some people are going to say, it's the networks fudging the numbers. It's the network they say everybody's watching. I'm not going to go down that road because you don't know that and I don't know that. You don't know that and I don't know that. So we can't just make stuff up. I got to go with the data that they're sending out here today. So Fox is sending that out. ABC, ESPN sending that out. It's two different networks, two different companies. So they're all trying to get after the same thing. I get it. They're all trying to promote their product. I understand. But I got to go with that and say, hey, the ratings came out. Huge NBA Finals, huge World Cup debut for the U.S. men's national team. My question is, why? I have a theory. I'm not sure if this is the answer. I think we still care, but it has to be really interesting. And I think both of these categories made it interesting. You can say what you want about a World Cup, but when it is here in this country, I think people were way more dialed in on that just because it's here. I mean, they debuted in Los Angeles. The whole World Cup, hosting the whole thing, it's been talked about, not just for like 2 weeks leading up to it. It's been talked about for quite a while. People say, hey, World Cup's coming to the U.S., and I understand we don't have all the games, but we have a bunch. And there was stories along the way. So it's got to be interesting, and people have to be bought in a little bit before the whole thing. By the way, the NBA Finals, why is that interesting? I'm still going to hang my hat on this. Wembanyama is still a huge star that people wanted to see what he was all about. I'm going to guess many people listen to this program. You're sports radio guys. You love sports. I don't think many of you probably watch Wembanyama in the regular season, hardly at all. Some of you. I don't know if many of you did. And then you get to the NBA Finals, and here's what happens. As long as you have like big stars like that, and then the games are competitive and really compelling and interesting, then you're going to have you're going to come back for another viewership. You're going to come back. I do say this as well. In the world of our in this new world, sports is live, and it's like the only thing left. There is not a lot of competition, let alone here in the summer. I mean, I know things in the summer, there's not a lot going on, but you could say that about the Bulls, Jordan, and Utah Jazz back in the day, too, so I don't think it's totally that. I think in the media competitive landscape, there's nothing else there. I'm going to tell you, how many channels do I have on my DirecTV package? I mean, I have so many channels. You know how many I watch? Like 6. But there's nothing there. I still think live sports in this day and age, in 2026, is still the must-see. That's why you have companies that pay a huge amount of money for the NBA. People still say, why would you pay this much money for the NBA? And ABC and ESPN just proved you're right. You can still get Jordan numbers in 2026 for the NBA because you have stars, competitive games. People watch the finals. They thought, man, Knicks, Spurs, this is interesting. This is good stuff. And that still will get you in the mix because it's live sports, unpredictable. We live in a world where we can get anything at the hand of right here in our hand, in our phone. And I do think that does lead more people to actually being interested in it as well. Some people think the social media stuff hurts. I think the social media, what do you want to call them, impressions, all the social media stuff from the NBA to the World Cup, I think that helps because it promotes. It's called marketing, branding, promotion. So then you're more interested in what's going to happen in Game 5 Saturday night. Yes, all the kids with their phones watching the highlights, maybe they're not sitting down and watching 2.5 hours of Game 5 like me. But they are interested in it, and they're checking it out more than we think because of their phones and the highlights and Wemby and the brand and the stars. So I do think there's a couple of factors. We still care about stars. Wembanyama delivered. I know New York's a big market. I don't think that made up the whole thing. You don't just get historic numbers from 1998 because the Knicks are playing. No. It was Wembanyama. And whether you love him or hate him, he brought it, and you guys wanted to watch it. So it is a perfect storm. Is it a guarantee this happens again next year, like NBA? I do not think so. So I do believe we still want stars, interesting. There was 15 billion plus social media views for the NBA. Can you believe that? 15 billion plus social media views for the NBA. That's just off the charts. That's worldwide. So you tell me your theory. That's my theory. My theory is this. Live sports is like the only thing left in our, well, we kind of have to watch this at 7 o'clock on a Friday night. Like, I know I can watch the highlights or whatever. There's nothing that entertaining left. We used to have this TV show, that TV show. Hey, we had to watch it. You remember back in the day? You had to watch the Bulls and Jazz, but you also had to watch this show and that show. Well, it was only on at this time. There's nothing left. In the TV viewing landscape, it's live sports. That's my one theory. My other is you have to have big stars. You have to have promotion. You have to have hype. And that delivered for not only Wemby in the finals, but the World Cup as well. If the World Cup's in another country, I don't know if you get that big number Friday night. I think that played into it. I really do. You tell me, sports viewership, setting records, World Cup, U.S. men's national team versus Paraguay, most watched English language broadcast ever, and NBA Finals most watched since 1998 in the Bulls and Jazz. That's big. Why do you say that is? Let's see. Listener text. You tell me. 605-720-1067. It's a good world to be in the sports category because I think the social media has led to more attention, more people being interested, and I do think that leads to better numbers. I know they can look at it on their phones, but you still want to check out the games, and you're going to tune in more when you've watched this highlight or that highlight. Let's see. Listener text. Not much else going on in sports right now, so these events fill up the bucket. Baseball, not that big of a draw right now. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, baseball's kind of in the back, in the rearview mirror right now. After the World Cup and some of that stuff, maybe baseball gets going, but right now it's just kind of dog days of June. You're kind of keeping, is our team going to be in this thing at all or not? Listener text, the viewership's up in sports due to gambling. Very interesting take. Very interesting take. Do you believe that? I do believe that's a good theory as well. Now, I think that overall gets people interested. I do, because they may not have an interest in watching the U.S. men's national team. Maybe they put something on it. I don't think that is the real story. Maybe it all adds up. You might be right. It may all add up, but it can't be. If you've got, if you don't have the Spurs next year and you have somebody else, and let's say Pacers OKC. We had Pacers OKC last year. It was one of the worst watched finals ever. People were still gambling last year. It was one of the lowest rated finals ever. I still think my theory's right. Big stars, hype, promotion, and it led to a perfect storm. Friday night, U.S. men's national team, NBA Finals Saturday night, record viewership in two huge sports. You tell me, is sports live and must-see? I think that's a big factor in our consumer mindset. There's a lot of stuff at our fingertips. You still got to watch games live. Coming right back, Frank Schwab going to get us started. We got Simeon Birnbaum, the NCAA champion from Rapid City. Now a champ with the Oregon Ducks. Busy show. Hang on.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Menards is your one-stop shop for all your summer essentials. Whether you're stocking up on everyone's favorite snacks, making a patio perfect for entertaining family and friends, or getting ready to gather around the grill, Menards has everything you need for your get-togethers all summer long. Save big money now at Menards. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans, all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
This summer, drive with certified confidence at Denny Menno Rushmore Honda. Get financing as low as 1.29% APR on Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Accords, CRVs, and HRVs with financing as low as 1.29% APR. Plus, shop a massive selection of used imports and domestics with over 340 used vehicles. Finding the right one for you is easy. Drive with confidence all summer long. See us at Denny Menno Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 6/30/26.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A wind advisory begins at 9 a.m. tomorrow and continues until 8 p.m. tomorrow night. A blend of clouds and sun this afternoon with a high of 89. Northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies again tonight. Lows dip down to about 61. Highs level off around 75. Tomorrow, mainly clear skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 84 degrees.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. On today's online-only auction, we are selling restaurant equipment and fixtures from the former Que Pasa restaurant in Rapid City. Selling a like-new self-serve wine dispenser. New cost was $30,000. Several dining tables, chairs, bar stools, various booths that were upholstered with buffalo leather. Also stainless steel kitchen equipment, prep tables, coolers, dishes, and much more. Auction preview 3 to 5 this afternoon. Auction begins to close at 6 p.m. Items are located at the Fine Arts Building, Central States Fairgrounds. To bid and buy, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
All right, busy show tonight. Good stuff coming up. Glad you're here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates, Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome in on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Simeon Birnbaum's live from Eugene, Oregon, coming up. 1,500-meter national champion out of Rapid City Stevens. His career just took off, man, in high school, setting records in South Dakota. And he gets the opportunity at Oregon, and he sets collegiate records. He's got the record in college for the 1,500 all time. He set that earlier this year, and then he won the NCAA Outdoor Track Championship title Friday night. Simeon Birnbaum live. I'm going to ask him about the Olympics. I hate to break it to you. I'm going to ask him 2028. What does he think? Where's he at? Simeon Birnbaum coming up from Oregon. Frank Schwab's live tonight. Back on the program, national NFL writer and more for Yahoo Sports. Find him on X at Yahoo Schwab. Frank, how are you?
Hey, good. What's going on?
Doing good, man. I appreciate your time. Okay, before we get to NFL, I want to ask a football question. U.S. men's national team got 18 million viewers Friday night in their opening match. That's a record for an English language U.S. broadcast for the World Cup. What do you think? Soccer getting NFL numbers?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's there's still not a professional league that's going to do it every Sunday for 18 weeks, 22 weeks, 23 weeks kind of playoffs, whatever it is. But yeah, the sport has grown so much in my lifetime here. I don't think it's ever going to be our national pastime or anything like that. But it's great to see. It's awesome. People rallying around that team. Played really, really well the other day. It's just cool to see the growth, and it's obviously growing. It's growing leaps and bounds, and you could see it. And the thing is, like, and I know you did it, and everybody does. You can't compare anything to the NFL. Like, the NFL is just its own entity at this point. It's immune from any stuff going on in the media as far as, like, network shows don't get great ratings anymore, right? Because there's just so many options for people. And the NFL's, for some reason, just been bulletproof to that. But, you compare it to other sports, it's doing pretty well against most NBA playoff games and baseball playoff games and stuff like that. And it's just, you really understand that, soccer is a big deal here, especially every 4 years when the World Cup comes around.
My theory is us hosting has elevated that right off the bat. I think the hype of that this summer is big, no?
Yeah, and also, the fact that we're hosting means the times are fine. Like, I remember the last World Cup. I love the World Cup. I watch every World Cup. And I remember the last couple have been tough to watch because, they're on the other end of the world, and they're, 10 hours ahead, 12 hours ahead, and these games are kicking off at 5 in the morning, mountain time for me, and it's tough to catch all of them, where, as an American audience now, everything is, except they've had these extremely late group games in, 10 o'clock at night, my time, which is midnight Eastern time. Those must be tough for those people. But everything else has been watchable. And, yeah, it's just being around it. If you're in a major city, I'm sure if you're in L.A., if you're in New York, if you're in Kansas City, this is just, you see the people coming in, you see it just, the vibe gets going, you want to be part of it, you want to watch it, you want to see what's going on. Absolutely, hosting has helped, the numbers grow in many, many different ways.
You cover sports betting at Yahoo, so I had a listener text in and say, my question is, people are watching sports. This past weekend, there was records. The U.S. men's national team and then NBA Finals got the best numbers since the Bulls and the Jazz. Jordan against the Jazz in 1998. That's NBA Finals getting the best numbers since 98. A listener said, it's about the sports betting. I think that's probably part of it, but OKC played the Pacers last year, and it was a terrible number, and people were still betting. Where's betting in the viewership?
It doesn't hurt. I mean, just like the NFL, the fantasy football betting, all that contributes to those numbers. But like you said, it's got to be a good story people can get into. And when the Knicks, in the biggest market we have, are going for their first championship in 53 years, it's just going to draw a lot of eyeballs. And there's, nothing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I think Wemby's a bigger star than SGA, just for the casual fan, and people want to see Wemby, and people, our understanding now of this Knicks team is really, really fun with Brunson and all them. So it was a perfect store for the NBA. If the Knicks make the finals next year, you're not going to see those kind of numbers again. It won't happen. We've already seen it. We've already lived it. They won their championship, but for them to get, sports betting absolutely plays into it. But like you said, I mean, you can see the difference between last year's finals, this year's finals. There's more to it than that. But, sports betting has increased the popularity of sports in America. There's no question about that. The U.S. men's national team getting the number it did the other day, it has to do with sports betting. They were at a bettable number. I know a lot of people that I personally bet it, too, because I think they're going to win that group. So that, just it plays off of each other, too. And when, the World Cup is so popular, it means a lot for sports betting, too, that more people are watching the World Cup, and they're saying, wow, Iraq is playing Norway. Well, sure, I know who Holland is. I'll throw some money on Norway for this game. So it all kind of plays into each other.
Okay, speaking of betting, you just wrote a piece at yahoosports.com about the NFL favorite, the preseason favorite. Preseason favorite to win the Super Bowl is the Rams. You looked back on things. What percentage of time does the preseason favorite win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and we're looking at, I look back for 29 years, and I'd known this, but the number still surprised me every time I look it up. We're looking back 29 years, which I think goes back to the 97 season. A long sample size. A lot has changed in the last 29 years, so we have a lot to work off here. And only 4 preseason favorites have won the championship in 29 years.
Wow.
That's, less than 15%. So we sit there, we want to, we have this, the expectation that, the Rams might be unbeatable. They're 5-1 to win the championship. Everybody else is 10-1 or crazy. How could he beat the Rams? Well, it just doesn't work that way in the NFL. I'm going to pick the Rams. They're number one. They're going to be number one in my power rankings when those, my countdown starts next week. And there's no spoiler there. If you're being honest with yourself and not trying to be a contrarian, you pick the Rams to win a Super Bowl. You just have to. They're the best team. I don't think there's any question about that. I'm sorry, Seattle. I don't think there's any question right now that when you add a Trent McDuffie and Myles Garrett, you're the best team in the NFL, who was second best last year, without those guys. But injuries happen. One and done happens. Like I wrote in a piece, look, at the 2007 Patriots didn't win a Super Bowl, the 2026 Rams aren't guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. The 2007 Patriots are the best team in NFL history in my mind, and they didn't win a Super Bowl. Things happen in a one and done. It just works that way. So, yeah, even though we're sitting here saying, oh, wow, the Rams, it's just not that easy in the NFL. It's a lot harder than it is in, say, Major League Baseball or even the NBA. It's too many variables to just sit here and say, yeah, let's start planning the parade for the Rams already.
4 preseason favorites, 4 preseason picks to win the Super Bowl have won the Super Bowl in 29 years. Frank Schwab has the piece out today. YahooSports.com, national NFL writer. Some mini camps going on, Frank. So in Denver, Broncos just got going. Bo Nix was out there, a couple of ankle surgeries. He's not going 100%. He said he could. My question is, the Broncos have been ranked by the Power Index 15th most likely to win a Super Bowl. 15th. When you see that number for Denver, what do you say?
That's way too. I don't buy that. I get it. Look, if you're looking at a lot of the analytics, the Broncos were, ahead of their skis a little bit last year. I mean, as far as just winning a lot of close games and some of the metrics, but I think we all know logically this is a really good team that has growth potential, especially Waddle coming aboard. I think Nix is going to be better I think he's really healthy, and I think he's going to be better this year than he was last year when he kind of slumped a little bit from his rookie year. Sean Payton's a great coach. I don't buy it. I don't buy that they're necessarily the second or third best team in the NFL, but I don't think they're 15th either. They're just too solid of a foundation between the defense and the offensive line that they shouldn't be ranked 15th. That's a little bit too much for me, but I understand why there'd be a contrarian view on them, just because, a lot of things broke their way last year that just are going to be tough to repeat. I mean, maybe you can bat that, regression by becoming better, by getting a Jalen Waddle, but the Broncos they're better than 15th, I'll tell you that. But probably not as good as they were last season when they put up, I think it was 14-3, and we got the number 1 seed.
I want to ask you in the AFC West, stay there with the Chiefs. They give Patrick Mahomes a huge extension, big numbers, $500 million when it's all said and done. What do you think of the Chiefs doing that deal? What do you think of Mahomes over the next 7-8 years?
It's interesting, and it's hard with Patrick Mahomes because he's just great. We watch him, we know he's great. He's got all the trophies that you could possibly want, and all that. But the truth is, over the last 3 years, I think it's 3, the numbers are just not the same. And not, football's not just all about numbers. I get that, but we can watch and see it's just not the same offense either. It's not throwing for 50 touchdowns anymore. And teams have taken away the deep pass from the Chiefs, and they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore to kind of just bust things open. So I think the next I wrote about this when Mahomes signed the deal. That's the next few years, the next 7-8 years, are going to be determining whether Mahomes is really in the conversation for greatest of all time. And I think he's built enough of a foundation. But you look, and he tore his ACL the same year of his life that Tom Brady did. I think 1 year deeper into his career, or 1 year less into his career. Brady was 1 year deeper. So you look at what Brady did after that, after 2008, when he tore his ACL, and he put together another Hall of Fame career, basically. Can Mahomes do that? And can he get back to being, 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, that kind of guy where he's winning MVPs? Or is this kind of he's just a good quarterback on a championship contending team? There's nothing wrong with that. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see the next few years. He could retire today and be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like that, they would not even be, it should be 100% vote. Like he's already there. But now he's just chasing history. Now he's chasing how far up the list can he go? Can he pass Manning? Can he pass Brady? Can he pass Rodgers, Unitas, Elway? All these guys. That's what Mahomes is chasing right now. And look, he's laid the foundation where it's absolutely possible he could end up number 1 on that list at the end.
What's more important to see Mahomes, the numbers or the championships?
It's always about championships when it comes to that debate, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that there's a lot that goes into winning a championship other than a single player's greatness, even if it's a quarterback. But that's just what it is. Like Dan Marino is not going to be in the same conversation as Tom Brady. Like that's just the way it goes. That's how we judge it. So if he can come anywhere close to Brady, championship-wise, talking about Mahomes, he'll be right in that conversation. If he stalls right now, where he's at. I think Brady would still hold that crown over Mahomes.
Frank Schwab in tonight. His work's at yahoosports.com. He's back at it. Find him on X at Yahoo Schwab. Frank, good to have you. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Frank Schwab on the Nate Brown Show tonight, national NFL writer for yahoosports.com. Preseason Super Bowl favorite right now. Betting favorite is the Los Angeles Rams. But be careful. 4 preseason favorites have went on to win the Super Bowl in the last 29 years. Frank just doing a little deep dive on preseason betting favorites. Rams are the favorite. I never, a little admission here. I never bet futures. I know a lot of you guys love betting futures. You go to Las Vegas and you see all these futures. You're going to take the Vikings to win it all. Wait a minute. Broncos, whoever. I never bet, I'm going to put money on this team to win it all. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I like sports betting. I don't like betting futures. Too unpredictable. I'm here to tell you right now. You want me to predict it? You want me to? The Rams will not win the Super Bowl. So don't do it. The Rams will not win the Super Bowl. Why did I have to say that on a random Tuesday, June 16th? Because everybody's saying the Rams. Not me. You're not going to get the Rams winning the title, okay? I'm not going to tell you who yet. We'll save that for, September before the season starts. But I'm going to tell you the Rams, don't do it. Don't fall into the trap. Coming right back to the Nate Brown Show, the 1,500-meter national champion. What a career he's having. Could we see him in 2028? I mean, it's a real question. We're going to talk about his career. Simeon Birnbaum, Oregon Ducks national champion, live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. Live across South Dakota. Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in East River. And welcome in West River on Fox Sports Rapid City, South Dakota Sports Talk Show Live, The Nate Brown Show. Man, I've been following this guy since Rapid City Stevens, like many of you, I think. And then you saw him set state records. And then we saw him go to Oregon. Now he set a collegiate record earlier this year in the 1,500 meter. And then he just won the NCAA title last Friday night. NCAA Outdoor Track Championships going on, and Simeon Birnbaum brings home the 1,500 meter title for Oregon, and he joins the Nate Brown Show live. Simeon, welcome into the show. How are you?
What's up, Nate? Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on today.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. So congratulations to you, first of all, the hard work and all of the commitment and the whole thing to get this done. So congrats on it. I just want to ask you what it's been like the past few days, bringing home the title. I know it's something you said, I want to win this thing. I know you thought you could do it. What's it been like getting over the top?
Yeah, man, it's been a blur. I came in kind of knowing I was going to do it, but you still got to go in there and do it. And then it's just been so much fun, man, feeling all the support from my people back in West River, South Dakota, and then my new people here. It's been so much fun.
Okay, so bring us back a little bit. We watch you set state records at Stevens, win state championships, and you had to know, hey, I've got some opportunities here, and you go to the premier track program in the country. Did you think you could get this done, I guess, this early?
Yeah, no, I always believed in myself. All it took was about a year of consistency. My first 2 years I wasn't consistent, and this year I was able to make it through the whole year with health and just loving it all the way, and that's what it took. I always believe in myself. I believe I can do anything I put my mind to. Okay,
you talked about a little bit, consistency. You had some injury stuff. What did you have to do there when it comes to the injury stuff mentally? How did you grind through that your first year and a half?
Yeah, it was a huge learning curve. The biggest thing that helped me was, I'm not defined by my sport. I'm fine without it. And after my freshman year, when I barely ran all year, I was like, yeah, you know what? If I didn't have running, I'd be fine. It's not just me. So just learning that and kind of being able to separate myself from what I do helped a lot.
Simeon Birnbaum joining us. He won the 1,500-meter national title Friday night, the NCAA Outdoor Track Championships, bringing home the title for Oregon. What's it been like being a part of this Oregon track program, one of the best in the country? What's the culture like?
Yeah, we had a really, really good year, and that a lot of that comes from the culture. We have a culture of we're really extremely competitive, we're passionate, we're fiery, we want to get things done. And we're also just really good friends, and those are my brothers now. I go into training every day. I train with them. I hurt with them. I do good with them. I do bad with them. Those guys are always by my side, and that brotherhood, it helps us excel. It helps each and every one of us individually.
Okay, when we watch you and we see you accomplish big things like this, a simple guy like me says, okay, what's it take to get where you've gotten? Take us through a day of Simeon Birnbaum training to get where you're at.
All right, here's a day in the life. I wake up around 8:30. I go downstairs. I have toast and some coffee. I go to training, probably around average 10 miles in the morning. So it's a workout, an easy run. Go get some lunch, maybe take a nap, and then sometimes we come back. We do another training session. Sometimes I don't have another training session. Sometimes we lift. Maybe go to a class or two, come home, eat dinner, relax, go to bed at 10. You got to get 10 hours of sleep to be successful, in my opinion.
Okay, so wait a minute. I just heard you say we're gonna do. I do some easy stuff 10 miles. 10 miles. That's easy stuff.
Yeah, I can run 10, 15 miles with a pretty fast pace. It's not going to be too hard. So the running isn't the hard part. It's the running fast that's the hard part.
All right, I got you on that. This is interesting for me. Okay, I wanted to say there's more to it than running, than training. You mentioned a little bit rest, nutrition, health. Is that a big part of being at the next level?
Yeah, I'd say to put it simply, to be a really great runner, you have to run. You have to run a lot. That comes first. But to allow yourself to run and to train hard and to run fast, your body has to be in the shape to do that. So you have to take care of it. You have to do whatever you have to do so your body is healthy enough and strong enough to run and to run a lot.
Okay, you set the collegiate record earlier this year. So that got everybody's attention big time. This is a record for the 1,500 meter. And what I was surprised by, I'm watching all your videos and your interviews, and you said, hey, you kind of had to talk to your coach this might be the day. I'm going to go for it. And a guy like me, I'm not a track and field expert, Simeon, so I'm like, Well, why doesn't he go for it every meet? Like, why doesn't he go for it all the time? Take us through that. Why was that the day? What do you mean by, yeah, today I'm going to go for it?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of parts that go into it. I mean, first of all, I have to be in good enough shape to be able to do it, and, like, that's pretty rare form. Like, you have to be training for a long time and be training really, really hard to get to that point, so you have to be there. And you also have to have a race. Like, you can't just set up a race out of the blue if there's good weather. So there has to be good weather on the day of the race. And we were looking at the weather all week, and it turned out it was going to be good weather, so that's a part of it. And then running out in the front is a lot different than running behind someone. So if I go out there and I run from the front, I'm probably going to run like 2 seconds slower than I could if someone was running in front of me, just because they're going to break the wind. I'm not going to have to think. I can just go off of them. And so you need to have a pacer, good weather, you got to be fit, and then you have to go out there and perform on the day. So a lot goes into it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Simeon Birnbaum taking us through his record-setting season, collegiate record earlier this year, and now national champion in the 1,500 meter. How about the day of that, Friday? It was close throughout. That's how those races go. And then that last lap, what are you thinking to get it done?
I mean, the race went exactly how I planned it. I was able to relax and stay calm in the back, and I went into that last lap with almost no discomfort in my body or my brain. Like, I was extremely comfortable. I wasn't in any discomfort. And then when I decided to go, I just poured everything to make it feel smooth, make it feel fast, make it feel easy. Like, that race, I had a super, super good day. I was super prepared. And that last lap, like, sometimes it's your best days where you don't even hurt that bad. So that race for me was just a special moment, and I could just enjoy the whole thing. Yeah,
what a race. What an accomplishment. He's a 1,500-meter national champion. He's from Rapid City, Stevens. I got to ask you, Simeon Birnbaum joining us, Oregon Ducks star runner now. So your teammates, I mean, these are the best of the best as well. You're saying, hey, what are they telling you about South Dakota? You're from Rapid City, South Dakota. What do you tell them about this great place?
Yeah, I always love the question when someone asks where I'm from because, I mean, people here in South Dakota are like, oh, you're the first person I met from there. And I'm like, and I get to tell them anything I want pretty much, so I can make it as dramatic as I want. Like, I love to talk about, like, oh, yeah, I think there's more, like, cows than people there and stuff, and they eat it all up. But no, like, the West River, you know, like, Rapid City, like that's my city. Like, that shaped me growing up. And so, yeah, I got super long-time friends there. Probably some of the best friends I'll have in my entire life are in Rapid City right now. So that's really a town that shaped me. So shout out Rapid City in South Dakota.
I appreciate you representing Rapid City, South Dakota on the big stage. Simeon Birnbaum, a couple more. I'll let him run. So I got to ask you this because it's a ways away, but it's coming, and people always ask me, you think Simeon Birnbaum, we got listeners that have asked me, well, what does he think about the Olympics? So when I say the Olympics, what do you say?
I say book your tickets. LA 2028.
I like that.
That's what I'm going to say. I believe I'm going to be there. Like, the Olympics is in my home country, not very far from where I live now. Like, you best believe I'm going to do everything in my capability to be there, and not only be there, but to perform well and put on for the U.S.
Okay. I want to book my tickets. Now you got me juiced for that. Now, it does take some luck. It takes the right race. Kind of explain to people, like, okay, you don't just get in the Olympics. You got to go U.S. trials. I mean, the whole thing. What's that process going to be like for you over the next coming years?
Yeah, I mean, the U.S., especially in middle distance running, is the hardest country to make it in, and it's not close. Like, if you make it to the U.S., it means you will place well at the Olympics. And so, yeah, you have to have a fast enough time, and the time is really, really fast. Like, I'll have to PR, and I have the collegiate record. I'll have to run even faster to have the qualifying time to the Olympics in 28.
Wow!
And then also you have to be top. You have to be top 2 in the U.S. trials, or top 3, I mean. So the top 3 Americans in each event go through, and you have to be there on that day and perform to get through.
Okay, so you have to get a PR just to get a qualifying time, just to get in this mix. Okay.
Just to get in the Olympics. So.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you, what's next for you, Simeon? I mean, you're wrapped up your year. You take the summer here. What's next for you as you continue this trek at Oregon?
I mean, my year isn't finished. I got 3 races coming up. I got a race in 2 weeks at home. It's called the Prefontaine Classic, Bowerman Mile. It's like one of the iconic miles in the world. I'm extremely excited for that. And then I have another Diamond League planned. I can't say too much about it. And then I have USA's over in New York, so I can go compete for a USA title.
Simeon Birnbaum, 1,500-meter national champ. He's with the Oregon Ducks. He's a Rapid City Stevens state record holder and now another collegiate record holder, and his story continues here on the Nate Brown Show. Simeon, good to have you, man. I hope to do it again. We'll watch you. A lot of people rooting for you back here. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Shout out South Dakota.
Thanks a lot. Simeon Birnbaum joining us live from Oregon. The Ducks program is top-notch, and he set a national record in the 1,500-meter this year and a national champion on Friday. He just he torched the rest of the field on that last lap. Simeon Birnbaum, Rapid City Stevens, and Oregon Ducks. Great distance runner. And here on the Nate Brown Show, we'll continue to watch his career. Wish him the best of luck. Rooting for him all the way from South Dakota. Good to have him on. We come right back on the Nate Brown Show. I got to go to this college story that just came out today. I think it's a win. Big college football story, and this is a win coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Watiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WatikiWaterPark.com.
The best certified pre-owned values are at Danny Menno Toyota. Shop over 25 Toyota certified used vehicles in stock, inspected and backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And we have low finance rates available on select certified Toyotas. Looking to sell? We pay top dollar for used vehicles. Get an appraisal in 20 minutes or less, or use your online KBB Instant Cash Offer tool. See us at Danny Menno Toyota or DannyMennoToyota.com today. See dealer for warranty details.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A wind advisory begins at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Lows of a low of around 61 tonight under partly cloudy skies, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures reach up to 75 tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. Mainly clear tomorrow night, lows it down to about 52. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 84 degrees.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique. and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Hey, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show on tonight, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Simeon Birnbaum just moments ago. If you missed him, great stuff with the 1,500-meter national champion. He just won the NCAA Outdoor Track Championships, the 1,500 meters, Oregon Ducks. He has a collegiate record, I should say, here in the U.S. for the 1,500 meter. That was earlier this year. And that's Simeon Birnbaum on tonight out of Rapid City Stevens. What a career so far. And he's looking forward to the Olympics in 2028. A lot of listeners have texted in saying, Birnbaum going to get to the Olympics? Is he going to bring home a medal for Rapid City? How big would that be? That'd be massive. You don't see that. I mean, you just don't see that. So we'll keep an eye on Simeon Birnbaum. What a career. What a run on Friday. I thought that was interesting. The typical day of Simeon Birnbaum. He gets up in the morning, does some easy stuff, about 10 miles. I'm going to set my goals higher. I need to set my goals higher, Simeon. I take a walk in the morning, okay? That's where I'm at. But coming right back, Zach Barnett's on the way. Hang on for Craig Mattick tonight, SDPB Sports. I got to get into this college sports story that not a lot of people are talking about anymore. All of a sudden, I mean, it was an everyday thing. Everybody was going crazy, like me. But I'm going to go crazy today again because we've solved the problem. There were a lot of people out there that were thinking, this is fine. Don't make it a big deal. Don't worry. Colin Cowherd here on Fox Sports Radio. It's just a college kid. He made some mistakes. Not a big deal. Well, Brendan Sorsby, the Texas Tech quarterback, had the injunction, was going to get to play after admitting to betting on his own team. Well, he wasn't playing. He was betting on his own team. They were going to let him play. Texas Tech went on a PR campaign last week, right? They're going to let him play. Oh, here today, he's not going to play. Thanks for playing, Brendan. That ball game's over, and I don't feel bad about it at all. He's going to go to the NFL supplemental draft, so I don't know Brendan Sorsby. I don't know the deal. I do know his story where he's coming into Texas Tech, transferred in. They paid him a big NIL package, and then he had this big sports betting scandal, which he admitted to. He said, hey, I bet on all these games and all these bets, and he's going to say, well, I didn't play in these games that I bet on in Indiana, but, yeah, I bet on my team. And that type of stuff, I've said, this is the last stance in sports. If you've got a guy that bet on games and then he can just play. This is the last stand in sports of any rules at all. And finally, we get a win today. Because the Big 12 finally stepped up. I mean, this is a lesson. Kind of have some guts, Kind of have some guts and actually say, no, we're not just going to let this go. Because everybody was trying to let it go. They were trying to say, well, I think he's going to get to play. I had guys on this show last week. Well, an injunction's tough from a judge, man. It's an injunction. The NCAA had to appeal, and they're going to hear the appeal in February. No, forget it. The Big 12 brought in a big lawyer. There's some good lawyers, right? They brought in a big lawyer, and they said, we're going to shut this down. The Big 12 Conference. So they had their meetings last week, and here they come firing this week, and they finally got Sorsby to say, I'm going to bag it. And it's a win for college sports. You can't do it. We couldn't set the precedent. This just goes to show you got to push a little bit. Don't just let stuff go. And the Big 12 Conference finally woke up a little bit and said, we're not going to let Texas Tech do this. They can't just let a player play, pay him all this money, and he bet on sports, and we're going to let this happen. Universities can't field players who have bet on their own team's games. That was in the Big 12 statement. What a statement. But they had to get their own lawyers and threaten some stuff here and say, we're going to fight this thing. Because Texas was really trying to, no, we're going. We're going to do this. I'm glad it finally is. And by the way, it's kind of an afterthought now. It's like, oh, I guess Sorsby is going to do the NFL supplemental draft. Well, no, that's because the Big 12 finally did something right. They finally stood up and said, this isn't going to happen. Instead, it was, oh, we'll appeal. We'll wait till February. The Big 12 had to step in, so the NCAA finally got something accomplished. So, well done. Sorsby's done. He's going to the NFL supplemental draft. Good luck. By the way, let's get into the next hour. Listener text coming in. This gambling issue with Texas Tech isn't over. It's going to happen again. It might not be Texas Tech, but there will be a university and a player and one of these kids who will do this. And they'll fight it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm not so sure about that. Because I think you had to make a stand. The Big 12 made a stand. They got their own high-powered lawyer. They got the law firm that got to USC into the Big Ten. USC and UCLA. That's the law firm. They're like, hey, we're going to play with the big boys? The Attorney General in Texas? I think we're going to have to get some big boys on this. So Texas Tech and Sorsby finally just bagged it. He didn't want to risk missing the window for the NFL. So he waited here this week like, do I fight this and think I'm going to win, miss the NFL draft, or do I just bag it? And the Big 12 made him bag it. I don't know if a lot of kids are going to say, yeah, I'm going to bet on sports, my own team's games, and take a shot here all the way to the Supreme Court. Maybe, but I don't think so. Speaking of college football, I do have a story I want to talk about with Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney says he thinks he has the answer for the state of college football and should you make athletes employees. I have a couple of answers for Dabo coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles of people we At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
And is always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome back in. Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Great lineup so far, and second hour ready to go. Simeon Birnbaum joined us tonight. If you missed it, you can catch it on the podcast. We don't repeat guests or play stuff back. We try and give you new content each time out. We know you missed some stuff. So 1,500-meter national champion into the Oregon Ducks and former Rapid City Stevens star, Simeon Birnbaum live tonight from Eugene. Good conversation. Really good to get inside his mind and everything it's taken to get him this far as a 1,500-meter national champ. He won that by a mile, literally, on Friday night. And Simeon Birnbaum on tonight. Frank Schwab was in. Good stuff with him. National writer for Yahoo Sports, and more to come. Zach Barnett's coming up. College football, footballscoop.com. Zach Barnett live from Texas. We'll get his read on Brendan Sorsby in the Texas Tech scenario. Craig Mattick's on tonight from SDPB Sports, South Dakota Public Broadcasting, a longtime broadcaster. Craig Mattick live from Sioux Falls. If you miss parts of the show, a reminder, like Simeon Birnbaum, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show's there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, really wherever you get your podcasts, just search The Nate Brown Show, and then you've got every show, every guest right there. You want to get in touch with us? The Barons Wilson text line is a great way to be a part of the conversation. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. Got a listener text. I like Simeon's confidence. It's all a mental game, and he's great. So good stuff. Text us on the Barons Wilson text line, 605-720-1067. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline's open as well if you want to be on the show. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, same number, 605-720-1067. You've got us, powered by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street in Sioux Falls. Okay, let's get to this. One more college sports scenario. You know what everybody said, and some of you have said this. You've texted into me. Rob Kagron. Who's Rob? Yeah, he's here on Mondays and Thursdays. You know Rob. He's told me this. And I'm going to fight on this. I'm not a fighter. I'm not an arguer. But I'm going to fight on this because this is wrong. There's no way this can happen. And now, all of you guys that have argued this have another guy on your side. It's Dabo Swinney, Clemson head coach. What is he talking about? He did an interview with On3, and Dabo Swinney complained about the current chaos in college football, which we all agree on. There's chaos. It's a mess. Free agency every year, no caps on NIL. I mean, it's absolutely out of control. We all agree on that. But Dabo said, we just have to change this up. We have to look at a collective bargaining agreement and treating players as employees. So everybody thinks this is the simple answer. You just have to make the universities treat the players as employees, and then they can collective bargain. They can have their union like the NFL. And nobody's looking at the bigger picture here. Yeah, I'm fine. Clemson and Ohio State and Texas and Texas Tech, whoever you want to put in there, Notre Dame. So they can, I guess, do, what are they going to do? Are they going to do a different CBA than Wyoming, North Dakota State, Utah State? You have to understand, the players at Wyoming and North Dakota State and Utah State are way different as employees than the Ohio State guys. So are you telling me 140 schools are going to be under the same collective bargaining agreement? Are you telling me Colorado State's going to be under the same CBA as Michigan? You can't have it. That's why the NFL, well, the NFL has it. Yes. There's 32 teams. It's all the same. The employee thing. And that's just football. So let alone, are you trying to tell me that the swimmer at Nebraska is going to be under a CBA like a football player at Nebraska? Come on. So no. That's not going to work, guys. And they're going to say, well, it's just going to be football and basketball as employees. Oh, okay. Still, my first argument holds. The basketball player at Wyoming is not the basketball player at Duke. I mean, we understand that. So 32 teams in the NFL, you get a union. You get collective bargaining. They say certain, they get this, they get that. The players at Utah State are not going to be treated in a CBA like a player at Florida State. So you can't do it for 140 schools. And then you're going to not have a different CBA for the SEC as you are the Mountain West. So that's over. And Dabo's saying, oh, we got to have collective bargaining, and have players represented, as employees and stuff. Well, that's fine if you're Clemson and Notre Dame and that thing, but the problem is it's all different across college sports. And guess what? The swimmer is going to be ready with a lawsuit when the players, the football players, get to be employees and the swimmer does not. On top of that, if you just say it's football and basketball, if you're just telling me that, if it's football and basketball, they're going to do their own CBAs because those are the only sports that make money. Okay, I understand. Are you trying to tell me the rest of college sports then is going to become a club sport? Because universities are not going to employ golfers. They're not going to employ wrestlers. Why would they employ wrestlers? You say, well, you have employees to help you in a business. You pay employees to help you in a business to make revenue. The wrestler's not making revenue. The baseball player's not making revenue. Hate to break it to everybody. You're not going to employ softball players. So this whole thing's falling apart. You cannot do a CBA, collective bargaining agreement, for college athletes as employees. There's too many schools with too much revenue discrepancy. There's too many rules that would be for the football and basketball players and not for the swimmers and the golfers and the wrestlers and the baseball players. It does not work. 32 teams in the NFL, it works great. They can share media rights. They can share the revenue. They can get players this and players that. 140 schools from all walks of the country, all revenue, different endowments, different funding, different donors. It's not even close. Can't work. So the CBA and the employee thing, that's not going to work. You can't do a collective bargaining agreement for somebody at Colorado State under the same thing at Michigan. It's not even close. So, I'm just telling you, this bill that they're trying to do in the Senate Commerce Committee this Thursday, like that's the only life we have on any rules in sports, in college sports. You may not like this or that, but they're trying to get a cap on NIL, trying to get that. They're trying to get some health benefits, stuff like that for the athletes. They're trying to do some stuff. I agree with some points of it, They're trying to get something bipartisan. It's like the only thing that we can have from a college sports rule standpoint. They're not going to have unions, guys. Players are not going to be part of a union and CBA. This doesn't work. The model is way, way different. Listener text, Nate, none of these universities used to go playing when all the players got absolutely nothing. They used to complain, or let's see, I'm reading this. Now it's ironic the only people complaining are the people who have the power before and have since lost the power. Well, no, I understand. I don't think people would be complaining as much in the world of college sports if there were some rules. That's all I ask. Like the only thing I asked the simpleton from South Dakota, me, I want, you can't transfer every single year. You have to have some NIL caps that are consistent for programs. It can be high. I don't care what it is. I don't know if it's whatever it is, $35 million. Cap it. I mean, the players can get a bunch of stuff, but you have to have consistency. You have to have like a cap on that so everybody plays by the rules. Okay? That's really all I ask for. Transfer fest, free agency every year over, and salary NIL caps. Not, oh, you just get a scholarship and be happy with that. I'm not that guy. You get to make a bunch of money, but it's not a free-for-all. Where I get to go play for Michigan this year because they paid me $5 million, and then Ohio State's going to pay me $7 million next year. That's over. That doesn't work. So that's all I ask. Just a couple of rules. And this federal law is like the only chance you got. The CBA discussion's off the table. It's out. Let's see. Listener text. Separate the top 40 teams from the rest. Yeah, and I'm probably fine with that too. But people don't really want that either. So I'm probably okay with that. Like the teams in the Mountain West, as much as I want to play with the big boys and watching some of those games, I think it's fun. I've watched it over the years. They aren't going to win the national championship, especially in this era. So if you want to separate out the top 40 that have all the money and they're playing by separate rules, I'm okay with that. But again, that's another entirely different problem. So nobody wants to do that. The guys in D1 FBS want to stay there. That's why this federal law is going to try and make everybody get along in this era of we have all the money and you don't, and we're trying to create a little bit more of competitive balance. So, all right, listener text, Dabo is the worst spokesman. Well, he didn't want to do any of this, and now he kind of says, well, we maybe should do this. We should treat them as employees. Well, that's not going to work for all the sports. If you guys want club sports and all the other sports, I guess you could do that, but, boy, you're going to have a lot of people upset about that. Hey, it's a club sport all of a sudden. This big sport, softball at Oklahoma. It's a club sport. Huh? Oh. Zach Barnett's in. He knows a lot about this. Footballscoop.com will get his read on it. Zach Barnett live from Texas coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people get into all kinds of vehicles with loans as unique as them. Trucks, cars, SUVs, we finance them all with local service and rates starting as low as 4.99% APR. That's right, 4.99%. Keep your loan local and find the one that fits you at bhfcu.com. Apply today online or text 605-718-1818 to get started. Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
No one comes close to the selection of whiskey and bourbon than your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. And this month you can save $6 off a $7.50 bottle of Pendleton, now $18.99. Or choose the big 175-liter bottle of Pendleton for only $45.99. Plus save $8 off a handle of Crown Royal for just $46.99. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. Off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A wind advisory begins at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Lows of a low of around 61 tonight under partly cloudy skies, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures reach up to 75 tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. Mainly clear tomorrow night, lows it down to about 52. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 86 degrees.
Everybody knows to have success on the court, your team needs the right strategy. And it's no different with life insurance. Your team at home is counting on you to have a strategy when things get tough. Lee Cruz, agent with New York Life Insurance Company, is ready to help you make sure the most important people in your life are protected. Get a no-obligation free quote fast. Just Google Lee Cruz New York Life. Don't risk it. Make the right play. Give your family financial comfort with life insurance. Get your coverage options with Lee Cruz New York Life, 605-360-8804. Google Lee Cruz New York Life.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and EchoStar internet systems. Starlink and EchoStar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right. Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show busy tonight. Appreciate you being here and appreciate our next guest hanging in. National college football writer Zach Barnett. He is with footballscoop.com. Big news out of Texas. That's where he's at. Texas Tech. Not going to have Brendan Sorsby. Zach, welcome in. I'll just ask you right out of the gate, did the Big 12 kind of scare Texas Tech and Brendan Sorsby into saying, I guess we'll go NFL supplemental draft? How did this go down?
Well, absolutely. According to the latest reporting, Sorsby and the Texas Tech Board of Regents met on Sunday to kind of map out the game plan, reaffirm their support to each other, and then late Sunday night / early Monday morning, the Big 12 filed its lawsuit. And I mean, I read through its court filing, and I read through the court filing, and I was like, okay, well, makes sense to me, but I haven't spent a single day in law school, so what do I really know? But then other legal minds started to chime in and say that Texas Tech was between a rock and a hard place, and that the Big 12, the court was likely to side with the Big 12. And obviously, either Jeffrey Kessler and or the Texas Tech lawyers agreed because within 12 hours, this thing was done and dusted. And whether it was going to be successful or not, ultimately we'll never know, and it ultimately doesn't even matter. This was all about, as I wrote about on footballscoop.com, this was all negotiation about whether the juice was worth the squeeze, and I think that was apparent long before yesterday evening that it wasn't going to be, and finally they realized that even if we ultimately win, it's just not worth the risk of letting the supplemental deadline pass. And so I'll just go ahead and jump in there, and we can all just do our best to forget this ever happened.
Yeah, and that's it. So Brendan Sorsby's done in college football, going NFL supplemental draft. So now I wonder, Zach, Is this just a one-off? Is the sports betting, players betting on their own teams, taking it all the way to the Supreme Court? Is this over?
I mean, if you're asking me that if any other player if Brendan Sorsby is the only player that's bet on his own team, then I certainly would not take that bet, pun intended. But I don't see any school out there attaching themselves to, go ahead, we'll support you in your lawsuit. No problem, man. I don't see that happening again. And frankly, I think Texas Tech probably internally regretted supporting Sorsby pretty quickly after he won the lawsuit. I think the simplest explanation here, Nate, is that Texas Tech agreed to support Brendan Sorsby without ever thinking that he'd win the lawsuit and without ever thinking through the implications of what supporting him would mean to competitive integrity and without ever thinking about how their competitors and the rest of college football would react to this insane breaking of the norms. I think they got into this without ever thinking those things through and realized finally that they were not going to win this fight.
Zach Barnett on tonight, footballscoop.com, national college football writer. A couple more, I'll let him run. Dabo Sweeney did an interview. He said he kind of thinks we got to change something up now in this chaos, and players should be employees. Could look at collective bargaining. I don't know if that works for every conference from the Mountain West to the SEC being under the same CBA. Where's this argument go, players as employees?
I mean, I do think that if this current bill that they're trying to work through Congress fails, and I certainly think it's greater than 50% chance that it does, I think that that's probably where we do go. And frankly, I think the SEC views that they have zero obligation to the Mountain West. The SEC's top obligation is to the SEC. And I think the presidents are going to say, you know what, we're done begging for help from Congress. Let's just make this a fully professional enterprise. Maybe it's just football. Maybe it's just football and basketball. I don't know. I doubt tennis and golf are along for the ride. But I certainly think in football, these are going to be professional athletes. We're going to sign them to contracts, their employees, collective bargaining, and all that. And whether the Mountain West comes along for the ride would be up to the Mountain West.
Okay, so as I let you go, that means it's the top 40 teams then that go down this path is the model you're saying.
Yeah, and I don't know, frankly. I think everyone knows in college sports that there's more money to be made by having Alabama play Ohio State than Alabama play Mississippi State. But I don't know if Alabama's stomach is in the fight to kick Mississippi State out of the club, so to speak. So maybe it is just the top 10 of the SEC and just the top 10 of the Big Ten. I'm not the one to say, but here's something to tie it into what we're talking about. I do think week have not helped Texas Tech's cause if ultimately we are handing out invitations to the dance. As of right now, I don't think Texas Tech's getting one, and I don't think that would have been the case 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Zach Barnett in tonight. Appreciate him hanging in with us. Footballscoop.com for his latest work. He's on X at Zach_Barnett. I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Appreciate the time. Zach Barnett live from Texas. Footballscoop.com, national college football writer. The latest is this. Two things going on in college football. Two major things. Texas Tech, Brendan Sorsby, fighting all the way tooth and nail after admitting to betting on his own team back in the day. Took it to court, went all the way. Texas Tech supported him. They paid him a bunch of NIL money to get him to Texas Tech. They're supporting him. He's going to play. The judge grants the injunction last week. He's going to play. He's eligible. We have people talk about it back and forth here on the program all week last week. You think he's going to get to play? Well, yeah, injunctions, they can hold up. Big 12 finally does a court filing saying, no, we're going to fight this all the way. We're going to stop Texas Tech from having Brendan Sorsby play. Then somehow the court says, yeah, or legal experts, lawyers, these are lawyers, yeah, Big 12 might win this. So the NFL supplemental draft is coming up. The deadline's coming up this month. What is it, a week? And so a week from now? So you have to put your name in or not. And so then Brendan Sorsby kind of just bags the whole college football thing and says, I'm just going NFL. I don't know if this is going to work out. I'm going NFL. So what a 2 weeks here. It's like a week and a half, really. Got hot and heavy. And then the other one is this NCAA federal law going through the U.S. Senate Commerce Committee Thursday, this week. This is the new federal law. Ted Cruz, Maria Cantwell, Republicans, Democrats trying to do something bipartisan to add rules to college sports. And Zach Barnett from Football Scoop said he thinks it's 50-50 if this gets through. He's 50-50, and then he thinks he opened the door for that quote-unquote super league that the SEC, the Big Ten, the big boys might just have to do their own thing, and the only way to do this would be make them employees so we can do our own thing and just they're our employees, football, basketball, they're the revenue of sports. Let's do our own thing and do the super league and call it good. Which way is this all going to go? Which way is this going to go? Like Super League, do your own thing, or a federal law for everybody, and we're going to keep the model of the Mountain West included with the SEC and the Big Ten. We're going to pool media rights, and the Mountain West is going to be able to make some more money off the media rights. That's what the federal law says. So we're what an interesting summer here if you're following this, and we'll keep following it up. I'm intrigued by it. Big steps here for college sports, like massive. This is going to go Commerce Committee this Thursday, like where people can add amendments and stuff like that. So keep an eye on it. We'll be on this. Or is this whole thing going to blow up the federal law and then the SEC and Big Ten are going to say, we'll do our own thing and we'll do the employees, the CBA, and we'll do that. And we'll invite in, I don't know, the Clemsons and people like that. So very interesting. Very interesting. Hey, I've got a story out of Texas. Speaking of Texas, I didn't think this was something, but you know how popular football is in Texas, right? There's a new school for girls only. This is a new school. Girls only. And it has everything to do with football. I'm going to see what Craig Mattick thinks of this. Would I sign my daughter up for this school? It's just opening in Texas when it comes to football. Craig Mattick's our next guest. East River meets West River coming up.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale starts now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now's the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We are live. Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates. Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here, West River. And I appreciate you, East River. Let's get it after it. Let's get after it with East River legendary broadcaster Craig Mattick. Appreciate our affiliate KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. The Nate Brown Show is on. Craig Mattick is in. East River meets West River. Summertime in South Dakota. Craig Mattick, I had a question we were talking about here in the office last week. Best barbecue lawn game that you should play in South Dakota. Do you have an answer?
No, I'd probably go Jarts.
Ah.
Yeah, go back to the 70s with the Jarts, the sharp pointed end that you throw. I'm sure the grandkids would be just fine with those.
Has anybody been injured?
I remember Jarts and bocce ball. That was the other one.
Bocce ball. You're a bocce ball guy.
Yeah, we do have the backyard once in a while.
Okay.
Until the grandkids start throwing the balls at each other, then all hell breaks loose.
I love it. Those balls are a little hard. Look out. How about cornhole? Can we bring that in to play?
I suppose.
Huh?
I suppose. Yeah. I suppose.
You're kind of cold.
That's a good one.
Okay, you're not. That's my number one, by the way. That is my number one game.
You probably got a couple of trophies.
Something like
playing
that.
Cornhole.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out. Craig Mattick's on. It's summertime in South Dakota. I do have to ask you your opinion on this. You're old school, Craig. I didn't say you're old. You're old school. NBA Finals. I know you're not a big NBA guy, but I assume you watched Michael Jordan and the Bulls against the Utah Jazz in 1998. Can I assume that? 1998.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
In fact, I was in Salt Lake City for I believe for Game 5. I think I didn't go to. I wasn't at the game, but I was in Salt Lake City.
Wow, what a connection!
And the place was. I mean, that was crazy fun.
Okay, so you were in Salt Lake City for the NBA Finals.
The biggest, right? So, but that was wild. You know, and I remember the '73 Knicks. I was a big fan with DeBusschere and Frazier and Willis Reed. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I think that was my first taste.
Okay.
Of the NBA, and watching Willis Reed come out being injured, and the place goes nuts, and then eventually they win the title, and so brought back a little bit of memories of what the Knickerbockers used to be, and good for them, good for New York. I was happy for them.
Okay, so this is a case study here. This is real life live radio with Craig Mattick. I'm setting you up here. So you watched the Knicks in '73, the Bulls. You're in Salt Lake City when the Bulls Jazz. This NBA Finals got the best ratings since 1998. Were you watching some of this NBA Finals more than usual?
I was not watching it tip to tip, but I was involved. I was involved just to see what when San Antonio got it by 29. It's like, okay, I've seen enough.
Oh, no.
So I turned it off.
Oh.
And then later came back, to watch the end. So my timing was impeccable on that one.
Okay. I watched every play, by the way, so I was there for that suffering for the Spurs. The reason I asked this, that surprised me that the NBA, because some people thought, the NBA, it's gone. It's there's no stars, there's no storylines. Were you interested because of the Knicks and Wembanyama? Did it bring you back to a little bit?
It did. It really did. I like Wemby. I like the kind of player he is. He's certainly, certainly the face of the NBA.
Yep.
And with the Knicks, they had, the former Timberwolf, Cat was playing for him. So, I was wishing for him good luck as well. But yeah, if for some reason the matchup intrigued America enough where a bunch of people, maybe it wasn't that hot of a Stanley Cup final where people weren't watching that. Instead, they watched the NBA instead.
Huge numbers. 33 million peaked for Game 5. That was the most in an NBA final since 1998 with Jordan and the Bulls over the Jazz. Craig Mattick on tonight. Very interesting. Last one. Another record was set in sports on Friday night. That was the World Cup. Most watched English language broadcast ever. U.S. men's national team, 18 million people. But you're laughing, so what's the problem? You weren't watching?
Well, I have a son who, when we had him in soccer, was so defiant about the game that he would sit down at midfield during the soccer game and was defiant. He was not going to play this silly game.
Whoa!
But as we come back to now, he's got 4 kids of his own. He was intrigued and watching the World Cup the other night and enjoyed it. So even those that didn't like the sport maybe when they were younger, I think America likes the start, and as long as America is in, they're going to be in. Once America loses, and I certainly don't expect them to make the finals, America will still be intrigued with it. But once they lose, then things will fall off. Unless there's some storyline that they can come up with.
Okay, very interesting. Like Argentina's playing in Kansas City tonight. Do you think that's a big draw?
I still can't believe there are people in Argentina who come all the way to America to watch the soccer game.
Yeah, can you believe that?
That is
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I don't watch it end to end, but I do watch. I watch what I can.
Okay,
let's go for it. I'll pull for America.
Okay.
I'm pulling for them.
Okay,
I'm proud to be an American, but I just don't think they're not going to be there at the end when we want them to be.
I hit Craig Mattick on the 2 big stories: NBA Finals, he was in. U.S. men's national team World Cup, you were in, and both of those events set some records in recent memory. Okay, let's go to South Dakota. I have a scenario here for you. Football season will be here before we know it. High school football. Okay, so I'm hearing in Rapid City about some transfers from one of the big schools. So Rapid City football has had its struggles. You know this. And I'm already hearing about some transfers now from one of the schools. These schools are struggling as is and now losing more players. How do you close this gap, Craig? I've talked to you about this. How can Stevens and Central close any gap with Sioux Falls Metro? I think it might be getting bigger in some aspects.
That is the million-dollar question, Mr. Brown, and it's been frustrating for a lot of people why Stevens and Central have not been able to build a really decent football program. You get somebody there, and you see some success, and all of a sudden they decide to take off, and then you got to start all over again. That's the hardest part. We're seeing that in Sioux Falls. I mean, you've seen that with Sioux Falls, Washington, and Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, 2 schools that were dominant football programs, but you know what? They can't do anything right now. They trying to build a program, trying to get things going, trying to build a program, and for those in Sioux Falls, they're kind of surprised at where the Roosevelts and the Washingtons have gone. But for Rapid City, that one there, I've always thought about the transfer rule. I mean, most of the transfers you would think are, well, we want to go to this school because it fits our child better. And when they do transfer, the old days, you had to sit out a year. Do you go back to that? Are we at that point? I don't think we are, but it's getting close. It's frustrating, and I just don't know where the best way to go to prevent the exodus of football players from a certain program.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm worried about it. I've been hearing this and saying, this program's already been losing. Now they're going to lose some players that were going to be pretty big contributors. I mean, I don't.
Well, here in the Sioux Falls area, there are a couple of towns, and I've told you this before. Smaller towns, they are in Class 11B, and there's another one in 9AA, where they had 3 players leave all at the same time, and that destroyed any chance of that school doing anything in football. And it made the schools they went to much better, and they were in the playoffs. And so it's not just the big schools that it's happening to. I think it's more of a hit when it's happening to the schools in the lower classes.
Yeah, I could see that. I just look at this big school issue in Rapid, trying to get a football program going, and I think Central's done some good things there. Stevens has really struggled lately, and if you're losing players that were like starters, this is going to be really, really tough, because now you got young guys stepping in. The Sioux Falls Metro has dominated. Man, I think it's a big issue in South Dakota high school football. I really do. I've talked about some solutions, but so far, no go. Craig Mattick on tonight, SDPB Sports In Play. Are you taking a little breather of the podcast?
The 6th season of In Play has concluded for the summer. We will take a little bit of a break, and then we'll be right back at it for our 7th season coming up in September. So enjoying the summer off, and got a lot of great names on my list, and we'll have some great interviews for folks once fall shows up here in September.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it, and so will the Vikings season with Kyler Murray at the start. Kyler Murray under center. Are you ready?
I'm excited about the NFL. I'm a big NFL guy, and I am leery on what's his name again?
Come on,
Kyler Murray.
Come on.
Kyler Murray, and I'm hoping that after he throws his first complete pass, I'll be all in.
Well, you better be, because I am in, Craig. You better be. Get ready, SDPB.
I've heard you. I've heard you talk about Kyler sending us to the promised land.
Okay.
I've heard that.
I'm ready. Enjoy your bocce ball. We'll talk to you again. Thanks.
Always ready talking with you, Nate. Thanks.
Appreciate you. Craig Mattick in tonight. East River meets West River from Craig Mattick, SDPB Sports, longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster, and his son used to sit down in the middle of the soccer field. What were you doing making him play, Craig? What were you doing? Were you one of those nut job soccer parents? Anyway, it's not me. Not me. Just ask anybody. I'm cool, calm, and collected. Who's hot and who's not next?
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Splash City, we think there's a time for everything. There's work time, there's play time, and there's your time. Splash City specializes in your time. Spas for you and your friends. Beautiful gas fireplaces that can be used almost anywhere, bringing warmth to the night or letting you be alone with your thoughts. Splash City. Rest, relax, enjoy.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waikiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaikikiWaterpark.com.
Hey Black Hills, this is Scott Hanna. And this is Adam Ray, and we have a full-service mechanical repair shop, Gateway Tire and Alignment, right here, right now. We have top-of-the-line equipment with skilled, experienced, expert mechanics offering all services from oil changes starting at $49.95 to brakes, to free AC checks, diagnostics, engine work, even diesel. We can get you in now. No more waiting for weeks to get your car in for service. We're your one-stop shop for sales and service. Visit us at 123 Omaha or go to GatewayAutoplex.com to book your appointment. Gateway Sales and Service. I'm Scott Hanna. And I'm Adam Ray. And nobody, I mean nobody, beats a Gateway deal.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A wind advisory begins at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Lows of a low of around 61 tonight under partly cloudy skies, northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures reach up to 75 tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. Mainly clear tomorrow night, lows it down to about 52. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 86 degrees.
If you haven't been to Trav's Outfitter yet, what are you waiting for? Trav's has the largest selection of footwear anywhere. Work, Western, and casual footwear, and we dare you to compare our selection to anyone. But here's the real difference. You don't have to sell yourself a pair of shoes. Our team helps you find the right fit for your feet. Find us in the old Kmart building, Trav's Outfitter. Best selection, best service, no BS.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Shop the region's unmatched selection of beer, wine, and spirits at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include $4 off the big 175 bottle of Jack Daniels, now $45.99. Save $2 off all Menage a Trois wines for only $9.99. Or choose Deep Eddy Vodka, just $15.99 for the $7.50. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, good stuff tonight on the Nate Brown Show. Appreciate you making this show possible and appreciate our guests. Great lineup tonight. Craig Mattick, good stuff from him. Zach Barnett, national writer, footballscoop.com on the college sports side. Simeon Birnbaum on tonight. 1,500-meter national champ now, the NCAA Outdoor Championships out of Oregon. He was on tonight. Great stuff from Simeon. Frank Schwab got us started from Yahoo Sports. So go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. We'll get that up tonight if you missed any parts of the show. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, home of everyone's favorite buffet. In my Who's Hot category, here are the numbers. NBA Finals, biggest number since 1998. 33 million peak viewership at Game 5, 24.5 million average viewership Game 5 Saturday night, in the Knicks winning it all. So the NBA Finals getting numbers back in the Bulls Jordan era. That's huge. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, there's a new school launching in Texas. It's a girls-only flag football school. Come on. Texas Sports Academy has announced the launch of this opening this fall, dedicated flag football school for girls. They're going to have 2 hours of academic instruction and then flag football. This is for girls 6th through 12th grade. Oh, come on. You can't have a flag football school only. Come on. Wait a minute. My daughter's going to be in 8th grade. Are we going to transfer portal? Flag football. Get ready. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. We're back tomorrow. The podcast going up now.
Save big money on your next painting project.